what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
We have to consider seriously and analyze correctly in order that we may preclude any possibility of a repetition in any form, whatever or what took place during the life of Stalin, who absolutely did not tolerate collegiality in leadership and in work, and who practiced brutal violence, not only toward everything which opposed him, but also toward that which seemed too inconsistent and totalitarian character contrary to his concepts.
How can you say these terrible things about Stalin? I mean, he's passed away. Khrushchev should respect him.
I mean, I guess Khrushchev is kind of right.
After the people of Cuba did not like Fulgencio Batista, who was backed by the US, I rose to power. And that was during 1959. Well, I suppose I had to murder 40 to 50 million political prisoners in the process, but my dictatorship made it worthwhile. Speaking of dictatorship, through my communist ideals, the superpower Soviet Union noticed our humble island in the Caribbean. All of this was due to the US losing the Battle of the Bay of Pigs.
And our history, unlike that of the Soviets since the end of World War II, demonstrates that we have no desire to dominate or conquer any other nation.
How strategic. Kennedy sure knows what he's doing by saying quarantine instead of blockade. He avoids calling the U.S. officially in war with Cuba and the Soviet Union.
Why is JFK doing this? He expected me to sit down and relax with nuclear missiles sitting on my doorstep. The only thing that will give me peace of mind is having my own nuclear missiles, which means I need to transport materials to Cuba. His so-called quarantine is just another way of saying blockade, which is a term during war.
Ballistic missiles are so swift that any substantially increased possibility of their use or any sudden change in their deployment may well be regarded as a definite threat to peace.
My name is Alexander Feklisov. I proposed what became the foundation for the resolution of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, I suppose that sounds nice, but the only reason why this started is because the US has their missiles in Turkey. The Soviet Union won't sign this treaty unless the US removes their missiles.
What a relief! In 1963, the Limited Test Ban Treaty was passed, prohibiting nuclear weapons tests in the atmosphere, in outer space, and underwater.
Due to the recent events of the Cold War, we have decided to issue the Limited Test Ban Treaty. Under this agreement, the use of chemical weapons or explosions in the atmosphere, outer space, and underwater will be prohibited. This is the most significant attempt at completely eradicating chemical warfare, and we will go to great matters in order to enforce this treaty. By issuing this, we are fully aware that it will upset some people, but regardless, this treaty is still necessary.